Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, I've been seeing back and forth between Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor ripped into Teofimo Lopez, says he's not undisputed. Smash the like button on this video. Let's get this video to 50 likes if we can. Or as many likes as this video can get. Smash the like button. As you guys know, I always ask you to smash the like button. Guys, you know what? I've been watching the back and forth, and I was gonna do a video, but a couple weeks back about these two. They were going back and forth. I saw some videos from I saw some interviews from Josh Taylor, and I'm like, there's some beef going on back and forth, which is always nice. It's always nice, to see fighters have a bit of needle because it builds up the fight. There's tension there. It builds up. It builds up. A fight in the future. And these two could potentially be involved in a super fight. Josh Taylor saying that Teofimo is not undisputed, going at Teofimo saying he's not an undisputed champion. Teofimo saying he smokes Josh Taylor. I get all of that. I will say this. I might favor Josh Taylor in that fight slightly, or maybe Teofimo wins. It's a very close toss-em kind of fight. I think it's a more competitive fight, and I think it's a fight that Josh Taylor should actually consider over the moving up to 147. But I think Josh Taylor would rather go up to 147. From what I've heard him say, he said he's got his own ambitions to go up, because here's the thing. Josh Taylor has a lot less to lose going up to 147 than if he stays at 140 and gets beat by someone like Teofimo Lopez. For his legacy, that hurts him more because Teofimo would be moving up. And Josh Taylor moving up to 147, nobody believes he beats Terence Crawford. Nobody believes he beats Errol Spence. Nobody believes he even beats Jaron Ennis. I even said at a time, I remember saying at the time, in the welterweight division, even the prospects could beat Taylor. And everybody at the time was like, no, he beats this, that. And I said Ennis would beat him. And now people are coming onto board that actually Ennis is special. What I will say is that Taylor looks at it and he looks at the financial aspects of moving up to 147 is a lot greater in terms of he's going to get paid more money, most likely. And from a legacy point of view, he has less to lose. Because if he wins against those guys, oh my God, he becomes a two-weight world champion and he becomes an absolute legend, because you would look at what he's done at 140, then he moves up. But the chances, if the welterweight division stays the way it is right now, the chance of him becoming a champion at that weight is very unlikely. Because I think he loses to all the top guys. At the present moment, he doesn't beat Spence. He doesn't beat Crawford. And even Ugas, I don't know if I favor him in that fight, but that would be a much more competitive fight. And I believe that Ugas may not stay champion long if someone like Ennis gets hold of him. I think Ennis might beat him. So if Ennis becomes champion, then we've got Ennis, Spence, and Crawford, who I don't see Taylor beating. But I think the Teofimo fight is a fight that Taylor can win. And I see that as a more competitive fight. But I think Taylor has, like I said, more to gain moving up to 147 because he has less to lose. I think the way he's looking at it. I think him losing to Teofimo, it hurts him a lot more than him losing to a Crawford. Because a lot of people may favor him in the Teofimo fight. Whereas in the Crawford fight, he'd be a substantial he'd be an underdog. He'd be going into that fight a substantial underdog. Not many people would be picking him to win that fight. So I can understand why Taylor wants to move up to 147. But I think the Lopez fight is probably a better fight for him. But I can understand for Lopez. See, Lopez has got a lot to gain. Lopez is moving up another weight class. So he's looking at Taylor and looking at the same way Taylor's looking at Crawford or Spence. And actually, Lopez has got an even better chance to create legacy because he'll become an undisputed if he beats Taylor. What Taylor says about Teofimo not being undisputed, I totally disagree with, because I don't listen. I don't understand much about it. Like, I understand politics of boxing. I understand all of that, but what I don't understand is, how did Devin Haney become a world champion? I don't quite understand how he became world champion. Lomachenko fought Luke Campbell for the WBC belt, right? And the WBC made Lomachenko a franchise champion, and then they made Devin Haney the WBC champion. But Lomachenko never lost that belt in the ring. Lomachenko got upgraded to emeritus champion or whatever, franchise champion, emeritus, same thing. So Lomachenko then fought Teofimo and Teofimo beat him. Or did Lomachenko fight somebody after that had the, I can't remember, whatever. He had all the belts, right? He had all the belts, and Teofimo, I believe, had the IBF or the WBO. I can't remember what belt he had, and Lomachenko had the other three, right? But then they made Lomachenko emeritus champion, right? Franchise champion, because I think he wouldn't have to fight his mandatory, which was Haney. And then they kind of made Haney a WBC champion. But I don't understand how they made Haney the WBC champion when he didn't even fight anybody for it. It's just so confusing. So as far as I'm concerned, for me, Lomachenko was the WBC champion. He just got upgraded to emeritus champion. And then Teo beat him. So really, Teofimo Lopez, forget all the belts. He's the consensus number one. Because Lomachenko was the consensus number one. And Teofimo beat him. Teofimo should be the undisputed champion. But technically, he's not, because Devin Haney has the WBC belt. But for me, he's undisputed champion because Lomachenko never lost that belt in the ring. And Lomachenko got upgraded to emeritus champion. So for me, I look at Teofimo as an undisputed champion because I feel like Devin Haney has to beat Teofimo to gain the credit. I don't believe that if Devin Haney don't beat Teofimo, for me, I don't look at him as a champion, because for me, Lomachenko was the legitimate number one, and Lomachenko had all three belts, and Teofimo had the other one. And when they fought, the four belts went on the line, and he beat him. Teofimo beat him. So I don't care about all of that, WBC making Devin Haney. For me, Lomachenko won the WBC belt against Luke Campbell, and I never saw him lose it in the ring, right? They never stripped him. They made him a franchise champion, which is equivalent to like an emeritus champion. Now, I get what's going on, politics, because what they want is they want to build up a Haney and Lopez fight, most likely, which is great. But I think firstly, it's unfair on Teofimo, because I don't think he's got the full credit for beating Lomachenko. And the other thing is, Taylor's done great. Taylor's beaten, Prograis and all these guys. He's cleaned out his division. I get that. But if you look at Taylor's resume, he hasn't got a win like Lomachenko. If you look at Teofimo's resume, he's got guys like Prograis and that. Comey was a very good fighter. Nakatani was a very good fighter. And Lomachenko is an all-time. He's a great Lomachenko. Lomachenko's a legend. Fastest three-division world champion in history. He's an unbelievable fighter, greatest amateur. The point I'm trying to make, right? Lomachenko has accomplished so much, and Teofimo beat him. So the point I'm trying to make, Taylor hasn't got an elite fighter like that on his resume. Taylor's never beaten a top 10 pound for pounder, ever. Lomachenko was number one pound for pound in most people's eyes when Teofimo beat him. Let's get that straight. Lomachenko was number one pound for pound, or number two pound for pound when Teofimo Lopez beat him. Taylor hasn't got a win of that kind of status on his resume. That would be equivalent to Taylor beating a Crawford. That's what Teofimo did. Now, I get the fact that Lomachenko's a smaller guy and, Teofimo's a big 135. I get all of that. But Teofimo was a huge underdog going into that fight. He wasn't favored to win that fight. So we need to get that out there. Teofimo was a substantial underdog going into that fight. Substantial underdog. And Teofimo, against the odds, beat Lomachenko. So if there's anyone that's a consensus number one in the division, it's Teofimo Lopez. Right? Is there guys that... See, Josh Taylor's cleaned out his division, but the 140-pound division isn't that strong. The 135-pound division is very strong. You've got guys like Devin Haney, Jojo Diaz. You got Ryan Garcia. Gervonta Davis is around that division. Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko, Nakatani, Richard Comey. Look how many great fighters we got in the 135-pound division. You got Shakur Stevenson that's probably going to move up to that division. So the point I'm trying to make, in the 135-pound division, it's stacked. The 140-pound division isn't stacked like that. So I give Teofimo a lot of credit for what he's done. You know, you've got to. He beat a number one pound for pounder at the time when he beat Lomachenko. So that is an incredible win. Incredible win. Even Canelo, as good as his resume is, he's not got a win like that on his resume. Maybe Golovkin, but even Golovkin was not number one pound for pound when Canelo fought him. So Teofimo deserves a lot of respect for that win. Leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about the beef between Taylor and Teofimo. I'd love to know your guys' opinion. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.